Okay, so this is where we live. As you can see, it's nothing dramatic because we don't even have any immediate fire burns in it. There's a little bit in the ceiling inside, but eh, this looked great yesterday coming through here. Nothing real serious, right? Looks great. Well, the fire happened over here. This is, yeah, you see that? Obviously, this is where it happened. Um, that tarp is covering up. You know, they had to like what do you call that? They had to come in here and knock down all the walls and everything to take a look at what was going on in there. Looks like it's nothing major. And in fact, we actually had news crews come out here Saturday night, and this is where the lightning struck. The problem is this is also where all the electrical cables run into the building. So even though it's not a major catastrophe, it's it's the source of all the electrical cables for the building. And so when it struck here, all the cables are melted, and from what we understand, all of the cables are shot and dead. That's the electric cables, the TV cables, everything, they're all just shot and dead. So they're gonna have to essentially rewire the whole place. And that means they're gonna have to gut the whole thing. Structurally, the place is great. That's why we were so hopeful yesterday. When we came by and checked by yesterday, we were like, oh, this is wonderful. Nothing terrible. In fact, that actually exaggerates how bad it was in some ways, because that looks worse than it actually was in terms of the actual physical damage. That most of the damage that you see that's behind that tarp, that was a result of the contractors coming in and knocking the wall down. You know, structurally this is great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's unfortunately all the electrical work, some of the drywall and such are just damaged, that they're going to have to rewire the whole place, and there's damaged drywall, and of course, you know, you had hoses being being aimed at it and everything, and I'm sure that did some damage. The water itself did some damage, but it's not a major damage. Structurally, we're fine, but the landlord came by yesterday, dropped by and told us we're kind of screwed in terms of where we're going to live for the next 30 days. Kind of sucks. But anyway, and I really, really hate to leave this neighborhood because this is a great fucking neighborhood. Jody, our current landlord, she came here and she just really cleaned house. She got rid of all of the troublemakers, everything. And basically, oh God, the people in this building particularly. I love all our neighbors here, but the people in this building are just great neighbors. Right here, the ones that are affected the most in terms of inside their apartments are our neighbors here and the people upstairs. Those are the ones that are hurt the most. The guy who lives here is an Army veteran. He was an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. And you see the yellow tape, right? And he's just great person, just really, really great guy. His name's Ray. Him and his family, everybody who lives here, they are really wonderful, neighborly people. I love everybody in this building. You know, they are very special people. So this is not where. So like, you know, I don't want to ever leave here in a way, because like it's just really great to live here. You know. It's not a great luxury apartment or anything, but the neighbors are so wonderful. All the way through here. Everybody who lives in every one of these apartments, we love. They're great. Particularly our neighbors right next to us, Ray and Kimberly. They're wonderful. They're great people, all of them. Everybody who lives here. And so you're going to have, and the thing is the landlord told us that if this had happened a couple months ago, they would have been able to get us all into new apartments rather quickly, because they had a lot of vacancies for some reason. They couldn't seem to rent an apartment, she said. But like in between that dry spell for them and now, they've pretty much booked every apartment. and there's only going to be a couple that are coming open within the next month. And there's 16 people without apartments, essentially. Now, you know, we were so hopeful when we came here because we saw the damage, and this looks worse than what the fire actually did. The fire didn't physically do all of this damage here. This is actually the work of the contractors. So it was a minor fire. Doesn't look bad, but everything, all the electrical wiring, a lot of the drywall's messed up. But from what I understand, it's mostly all of the electricity and cable and everything, all of that stuff that goes in there, shot, dead, useless. And so they got to gut it's the interior that has to be gutted, and that's the real shame. And that's why you have 16 people who love living near each other, or 16 tenants, essentially, not people, because there's multiple people living in each apartment, but a lot of people who live in this building. We really like each other. We're good neighbors. And that might be over forever. I have to move to some other apartment complex. And I don't know where I'm going to get a landlord like this. She's really magnificent. She's been fighting mad on our behalf. She's running down because she used to work at a hotel. And when there was fires and stuff like that, the hotel that she worked at, they would always give sort of these breaks to people. Oh, there's a fire, there was a flood, there was a hurricane, there was domestic violence victim, or what have you. Her hotels always tried to accommodate people and get the lowest possible rate for people. And La Quinta didn't do that. La Quinta charged us $163 a night. And when she found that out, she went running down there. You know, I mean, what kind of landlord runs down to a hotel to demand that they treat your tenants better? Who does that? You're not going to find another landlord like this anywhere on the planet Earth. And you're not going to find neighbors like this. I mean, really good neighborly people who look out for one another, look out for the kids, you know, that live here. It's fine. The building is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Structurally, there's no major structural damage of anything. And now all this is over. Maybe. I don't know. And even if we do get one or a couple of apartments that might be coming open, not going to be our Building 6 neighbors, you know, that will be living there. And I really love our Building 6 people. They're good people, and we're not going to have them anymore. And that kind of upsets me, because they're good. They're good people. But anyway, so there's the video of the non-event for the most part, except for where it counts, right by where all the electrical systems enter the house and all the cables and everything. It's fucked up. If it had hit the other side of the building, we'd be fine probably. But this is where it hit. It's like, God, all these trees here, we can hit a tree instead or something. Why do we have to hit? How did it even get through there? In some way, it's like, you know, it's like you look, there's all these trees. It had come in at an angles of some sort, and there it is. And yet none of the trees or anything looked like it even got, and they were even hit at all. But somehow, I guess he came in through there, I guess, and he just. And so Building 6 is, for a while, over, and I don't think it'll ever be the same again.